Hi, welcome to the Natives Cookery video. Next we're going to make French Apple Tart. To make this you will need some apples, some puff pastry, apricot jam, some brown sugar, a little bit of cinnamon, a bowl with lemon juice and water in, and a saucepan. The first thing you need to do is get your apple puree ready. What I've done is I've got mine on the stove already. All I've done is chop up a few apples, thrown them in a pan with a bit of sugar and wait for the apples to go soft. While your apple puree is cooling, the first thing you need to do is get your puff pastry. You can choose whatever shape you like. I've decided that I'm going to make mine circular. I've cut my shape out. Now what I'm going to do is transfer that to the tray I'm going to bake it on. The next thing I need to do is score slightly inside it to make myself a frame. I'm going to put that to one side, and the next thing I'm going to do is prepare my apples. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my apples, I'm going to carefully peel them. I don't want to take too much time when I'm doing my apples because obviously they go brown. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to cut this one in half and cut into it so I can take the core out. I still need to do a few more, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep them in the lime and lemon solution that we made earlier. Once you've peeled your apple, it's a good idea to get a small knife and we can core them this way. Just enter and just cut a gentle circle and then repeat the same thing the other side. So now we've got our apples nicely sliced and chopped, we've got our pastry scored, and we've got our apple puree nicely cooled. What I'm going to do is I'm going to spoon this apple puree over the base of my pastry, making sure I stay within the border that I cut earlier. The next thing I'm going to do is taking my apple slices, I'm going to decorate the pastry. Now we've got all this done, we're just going to sprinkle with a little bit of cinnamon. That's all ready to go in the oven. I need to put it in about 200 degrees for 15 to 20 minutes until the pastry is risen and it's going slightly golden. I need to make a quick glaze for it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this apricot jam and pop it in a pan. I'm going to pop it on the stove. That's going to take a few minutes to heat up. To make sure it's nice and thick, I'm also going to add just a little bit of corn flour. While that's doing that, I'm just going to grab the tart out of the oven. So it's come out of the oven, it looks lovely. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to transfer it to a chopping board to let it cool down and glaze it. So our apricot jam is melted nicely. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to spoon this over the top. Now I'm just going to leave that to one side just to cool down and set, and then we'll serve it up. Our French apple tart is all cooled down nicely. What we're going to do is just quickly serve it up. Going to take a slice out of it, pop that onto our plate. Got some homemade crème glaze, or custard if you like. You can find the recipe for that on page 75 of the Natives Cookery book. Maybe a bit of apple for a bit of green. There we go, French apple tart.